Okay, good evening. Thank everyone for coming. This is our June 3rd, 6 p.m. Joint public hearing. And go ahead and we'll start out with the roll call, please, for the town council.
Shannon?
Here.
Lee?
Here.
Canty?
Here.
Lee?
Here.
Edward? Here. Navasos? Here. Day?
Great. Also, Matt, if you'd like to have your roll call there for your planning commission.
All right, roll call for planning commission, please.
James? Valeri?
Here.
Correll?
Here.
Shannon?
Here.
Cottle?
Here.
Okay. Just going to change just a little bit up to our agenda here. After the Pledge of Allegiance, I'd like for everyone to remain standing, if they would, for a moment of silence for the victims of Virginia Beach. So we could start with our Pledge of Allegiance, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, if we could just remain silent for just a few moments, please. Okay, thank you all very much. Well, today we're holding a public hearing for the application for special use permit 2019-003 this evening. The Planning Commission will be jointly holding its public hearing with us. I'll briefly explain the rules for this public hearing and then invite the Planning Commission Chair to call the Planning Commission to order. The purpose of this public hearing is to hear from interested members of the community about the availability of granting a proposed special use permit for a medical office in the former bank building. Under Virginia law and our zoning ordinance, this council has the duty to evaluate the impact and compatibility for this proposed use and to specify conditions and restrictions that will assure that the use is being compatible with the area in which it's located, if possible. If the proposed use is not in accordance with our adopted plans and policies or is incompatible with its existing uses permitted by right in this area, then the town council should deny the application. The Planning Commission makes a recommendation to the council about whether or not to grant the application and, if so, what conditions or restrictions to place on the special use permit. We ask people to please limit their comments to 3 minutes and limit your comments specifically to the impact of the proposed medical office use in our community. Matters such as parking, traffic compatibility, and existing structures and noise are all appropriate topics for comment. Speakers must direct their comments to me, the chair, and the Planning Commission chair, not to the audience. We generally do not engage in back and forth discussion during public hearings. So with this, I'll turn this over to Chairman Cottle.
All right, thank you, sir. I call the planning commission to order. Clerk, please call the roll again.
James? Valeri?
Here.
Correll?
Here.
Shannon?
Here.
Cottle?
Here. All right, so we have a quorum present. I now open the planning commission's public hearing on the proposed special use permit, SUP number 2019-003.
And also, Chairman, I'm going to open up the Town Council's public hearing to the same SUP application. We will first hear a presentation from Mrs. Lockhart, the Town Planner, after which I invite the members of the public to come up to the podium and present their comments. Ms. Lockhart.
Good evening, Council and Planning Commission. In your packet tonight, you'll see the SUP application as well as a narrative from the applicant. I'm going to let them go through their narrative and how they feel they're addressing the application requirements. I would just like to call to attention my recommendation on page 11. After thoroughly reviewing this application, it is my opinion as the town planner that the proposed dental office will provide a local personal health option for our residents and community that is in accordance with our comprehensive plan as well as the zoning ordinance policies. Currently, our town zoning ordinance allows for medical offices by right in the transitional commercial as well as the B2 zoning districts. Both of these districts surround the property they're looking at. And it is my recommendation that the Planning Commission recommend to the Town Council approval, and the Town Council recommend approval of the SUP for Wonderful Haymarket LLC, Dr. Jeffrey Moon, as he would provide a personal health service for our local community, retain an existing structure and landscape that has been a part of our town for the past 32 years, and meets the requirements of the special use permit application without providing adverse effects to the surrounding properties. It is also proposed that the current location with the 28 parking spaces would provide adequate parking. We've looked into the health effects. There are no known health effects for any of the surrounding businesses or neighboring residents. And the office hours would be amenable to those residents that live in the area. There's one resident that lives diagonally across from the location, and these would be regular 9 to 5 kind of business hours. Do you have any questions for me as the town planner, planning commission,
No, ma'am.
council?
I just have one quick question.
Mm-hmm.
I know previously, and many years ago, there was an issue with the residents that lived on Madison with the lights coming from the cars. Will there still be, I guess it's going to be during daytime hours, so it won't matter.
Yeah, it'll be during daytime hours. The only
And-
time they might have some light from headlights would be in the winter
But
hours.
not late at night.
no.
Okay, all right, I just answered my own question, never mind.
And they do plan, it
To
is part of the
close that.
narrative, but they do plan to close the drive-through and have a side expansion there, so.
Okay,
Any other questions?
questions?
No, they have the hours 8 to 5, so that was a good question, so, but,
If you don't have any more questions for me, I'd like to invite up the applicant to give their presentation.
Absolutely.
Hello.
Hello.
My name is Jeff Moon. I've been practicing in the town of Haymarket since I graduated, which was about 10 years ago. And it's been a wonderful experience. I remember the town before the Walmart and before the Chick-fil-A, which I really enjoyed, the Chick-fil-A. And I would never dream of leaving the town. So I've always thought the building that BB&T was in was beautiful. I remember working with the representative at BB&T because we use BB&T. And I was sad to see them leave. I didn't know that it was available to be used, but when I found out, I thought it was a good opportunity for us to grow our business. We are getting into a situation where it's been given feedback to us that we need more space. And so as far as the hours are concerned, we keep dentist hours, so 8 to 5, Monday through Thursday, and we do also offer weekend hours, which I think we still might be the only ones, but it's only half a day in the morning time, usually before, just we try not to disturb the area too much, so our staff doesn't generally tend to stay past 5. Even if I wanted them to, they wouldn't. And if I somehow convince them to, it's not usually more than 5:30. As far as traffic is concerned, we do our very best to make sure that it's not unsteady. So the appointments are scheduled and it's is relatively uniformed. The only time my staff really spreads out into the areas for lunch, which is usually from 12 to 1, and they stay within the local area, so that doesn't increase traffic too much. I love the building. My wife really wanted to make sure I say that the building was born the same year she was. And I don't plan on changing it at all. I know we have to do some weeding with it because we just haven't, you know, but we'll definitely keep up with it. We're not going to let it go downwards. And so it would be amazing if we had permission to be there. And we're going to keep everything as far as noise. We're very quiet on the outside. There's no noise in it from the surrounding area, and we'll keep the screams down, Dr. Klein said. So,
Okay. Any questions for the applicant?
No,
Council?
no.
What's your expecting average patient volume a day?
that's a great question. So, usually maybe 30 people
Okay.
over a course of 8 hours. So it depends, right? Sometimes a little bit more, maybe 35 people, but it's very uniform. I mean, I would never dream of, let's say, putting 2 appointments on Kelly's schedule at the same time, because I probably would fear for my safety if I did that. It would just be, it's very kind of like one, then one, then one. I think maybe 30, 35 all day, so, but that's just a guesstimate. It's not a lot. We're not keeping a drive-through. I mean, there's no way.
Okay, all right.
Several of the businesses that we've known about, your amount of traffic is nothing compared to a couple of the others, which would have been fair and good for the town too. I think it's a great idea. And
I was
it's,
going to say, maybe we can hold it for comments till
yep.
we get the public hearing too, and then, okay. Any other questions from the PC?
Do you do any emergency appointments? Anything like outside of 5 p.m. to 8 a.m.?
That's a really good question. So, on our website and on all of our business cards is my personal cell phone number, was mine. And so really our belief is that if you commit to a dentist, then you should be able to reach him anytime. And so back in about like 3 years ago, there used to be a lot more emergency phone calls because the ability to prescribe drugs through the phone was allowed, and so there was a lot more filtering. But since then, really I find that no one really wants to talk to their dentist unless it's an emergency. So I may get maybe 2 calls a weekend, and you know, we talk it out, and if need be, we go in and usually, you know, but definitely call me before going to the emergency room, because they can only give you drugs, and it's not really a solution you wish. It's so, but yeah, we see emergencies if you have like toothache or something.
Okay, so it seems like you could be in the office during non-office hours, but weekends is a possibility. Would you get an idea on how many emergency calls you get? It's very rare, like a phone, you get ready to
Like,
call.
that we have to actually go in.
Go in the office.
Usually we can talk.
Yeah.
Okay.
So usually, there's more men that have emergencies because we feel pain more.
Fact.
You know, and but almost always, because we offer Saturday hours, we only have 1 down day, and so it's very rare that we have to. I would say in a given year, maybe 3 times a year. It's always on Thanksgiving, 4th of July, and Christmas Day. But we go in. I mean, it's part of the. It's kind of like part of that community, like the social commitment, right? So, I mean, you don't want to come even if it's scheduled. So I know you're not going to call me.
But he's not going in the middle of the night.
That's
You're not, yeah, he's not going in the middle of the night, or like 2 in the morning, or.
No, yeah.
They usually come in at like 9 or 10 the
Think-
next.
That's
Okay.
yeah. I mean,
They usually will wait, yeah.
because if it's that much of an emergency, first you take care of kind of like the surrounding soft tissue area, and then the teeth. So it's so they would go to the emergency room first, and then come to me. But I've never gone in that ever that late.
Okay. I have one other question. So you said currently about 30 patients a day. And so with the square footage, because I haven't seen any plans yet, but
Yeah.
with the current square footage, would that meet your capacity? And if you can't get the extension, or if you do get the extension, what would be your
So,
capacity?
right now our current office has 7 operatories, which is good. It's actually, I think it's great. Ideally, we'd have a little bit more space for to be able to kind of not make people wait as long. I think it would be nice, but we can. It's bigger than our current space either way. So
I guess I'm wondering, like, would you expect to need to expand in the next couple of years and continue? 'Cause it seems like you're getting probably more business, and as you go into a larger location, I'm just
Yeah.
wondering how long you think you could stay there and meet the capacity? Like, if you're going to move in, you're at 20% capacity, or you're automatically already at 90% capacity?
So, even if I've been at the current location for 10 years, and it's painful for me to move, and I'll probably stay there until someone drags me out of there. I mean, it's kind of like, it's almost like, because dentistry is the way it is, it's never going to get to the point where, oh my God, lock the doors, don't let the next person in, so we can manage the flow. Was that kind of?
I guess you're going to move in, we expect
I'm
to
kinda
see that
nervous
you're going to
since-
be there for a while without needing to expand, past this initial expansion. You're going
Yeah,
to be able to stay capacity for a while before possibly having to expand further. I guess what I'm
Yeah.
getting at. I didn't know your capacity on how many, I don't know what 30 patients a day looks like with the square footage at that current, or the bank location.
yeah, I don't ever see a need to go any bigger than that amount of square footage. I mean, it would be great if I need that much space, actually. My biggest fear is that I don't need it, not that I do need it. So if I do need it, then that's awesome. But we can kind of control the need also. So I would never want to even take care of a bigger space than the one that I didn't.
Planning for.
Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
that's not really, I'm not very good at, I wouldn't be able to manage like a hospital or something like that. It would just, yeah, I have like a lot of limitations. I mean, I'm just nervous talking to you standing here, so.
Don't be nervous,
You don't-
Dr. Moon.
Yeah, I wouldn't want a bigger space than the one that we are,
Planning for.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what I'm getting.
So I wouldn't make it bigger, ever, unless someone you guys tell me to make me make it bigger.
Well, I mean, even if business gets to the point where you think you need to get to this point, that you want to get bigger for business, you're willing to cap your patients not to go bigger? as well?
Yeah, I mean, because that space is so cool. Right now, the way the bank is there's the drive-through, and then we obviously don't need the drive-through, so it's kind of like we're just filling in that space. And then if you kind of try to go any further out in either direction, you start getting into the parking lot, which, we need the parking, so I don't plan on putting a strip mall there or anything, and having a bunch of fences. I just wouldn't want a bigger space.
Okay.
Pretty much,
Do we have other questions from the PC?
after the public gets to speak.
Okay. Thank you, Dr. Moon. And we're going to go ahead and, I had a sign-up sheet in the rear. If we have any speakers that signed up. Sure, if there's no one on the sign-up sheet, then go ahead. We'll,
Joseph Asinello, 6895 Track Court. Good evening, everybody. Dr. Moon is great. I think this is a wonderful thing for the town. I was so excited when I read it in the packet last month. We've got a growing business that is not going to leave town. I think that's good from a revenue perspective. I think that's good from a customer service perspective, and we have a professional service right here in town to help balance out what is essentially a non-performing asset right now, that building. And I do have children older than that building. I just wanted to let somebody know that. But I think this is great. I look forward to Dr. Moon being there many, many years. I didn't call him in the middle of the night, but I did go to him when I had a broken tooth and an infection, and I just can't say enough about his service, and I think it's just going to be great for us. So I would recommend that you approve the SUP and let them make their move and get to work. Thank you very much.
All right, anybody else? All right, seeing no one else, we'll close the public hearing. Any discussion on PC?
Chairman Cottle, if you want, I'll go ahead and close our public hearing as well. With no objection, we'll go ahead and close the town council public hearing. And now, Chairman, if you wanted to,
All right. In thinking about this, the trips that the dentist office is going to be generating pales in comparison what the bank used to generate. Because the bank was open on Saturdays, it was open 5 days a week, and 30 patients a day. But I don't want you to limit your business either. So you're in business to make money. And obviously, if your business grows, but I don't see any issue with it.
No, neither do I. With regards to traffic, I don't think any more of an issue than the bank was.
Everybody gets so upset about traffic, but again, I've said this 100 times. Most of the people complain about traffic would have never been here had somebody not have given them permission to put their foundation in the ground. So anyway, I'll keep my private comments to that. So do we have a motion? On page 2.
Page 11.
I have it right here. I also have it in the packet, so. You're good.
So, this one here?
Yes, sir.
I move to, the Planning Commission recommend approval of the Town Council for SUP 2019-003 for Wonderful Haymarket LLC to open and operate a dental office in the B1 zoning district at 14901 Washington Street.
I second.
All right, thank you. Any discussion? All right, let's do roll call vote, please.
Larry,
Yes.
Corral,
Yes.
Shannon,
Yes.
Collins.
Yes. All right, Mr. Mayor, it's back to you.
okay. It looks like at this time, if the planning commission would like to adjourn, and then it comes over to the town council.
All right, do I have a motion to adjourn? Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right, thank you.
Thanks, Matt.
Okay, thank you all. Okay, up to the town council. We have also on our page packet number 11, a sample motion, or first we'd like to bring up any discussion. I think here's where it would be totally appropriate for you to make your comments.
Mr. Mayor,
Councilman Chair.
I have not had to use Dr. Moon yet, but I have to agree with Mr. Passanello. I think it's a great business to put in there. They are obviously good citizens and employees of the town of Haymarket, and I would certainly welcome them in that building.
Okay, so we come around the dice. Councilman Lee.
Thank you, Mayor. Full disclosure, Dr. Moon is my dentist, but per Code of Virginia,
Good job.
but per Code of Virginia, Chapter 31, Conflict of Interest Act, I do not have any conflicts of interest. I don't own any shares in his company. I have not received any more or $0 from his company this past year. I don't receive any free dental care, any gifts, anything along those lines to have a conflict of interest with him. This should be a hands-down closed case. A big oversight on, I would say, my part as we were rewriting the zoning ordinance. As probably everybody knows, this is a by right use within the TC district, even though we didn't have anything zoned TC at that time. And this is a by right use in the B2 district, but requires an SUP in the B1, which doesn't make sense. We already have about 3 dental offices in the B1 district as is, located throughout the town. So this should be a hands-down done deal. And in my opinion, it just doesn't make sense on why they have to come to it, and it would be my recommendation as we look at our zoning ordinance, and as we all know, zoning ordinance sometimes need changes, and would make the recommendation to the planning commission to look into that to see if we would use or move office medical off the SUP list and back to a by right use under the B1, in my opinion. But I agree, I think this is going to be a great business. Glad the business decides to stay in town rather than locate elsewhere. And if you're able to expand, I'd love for you to expand as long as you meet our zoning ordinance and making sure that you meet all your setbacks and your coverage area. And as you grow, we grow, and you bring folks into the town. So we're here to help you and make sure that you prosper. So if there's anything we can do, we'd love to help you out.
Okay. Councilman Pathy.
I have no comments. Welcome to the town.
Vice Mayor.
No one, I'm good.
Councilwoman Cavazos.
I have no comment.
Okay. Councilman Day, any?
I have no objection to the dental office moving in.
Okay. There again, thank you, Dr. Moon. You've been providing a service for 10 years in that location, many years prior to you actually coming there. So, thank you for the service, and I think this hits on all the things as we look through what a service for the B1 district is. You're providing something that we can walk to, and that we just thank you for doing that. With that, I'll entertain a motion from the
I move
dais.
that the town council approve SUP 2019-003 for Wonderful Haymarket LLC to open and operate a dental office in the B1 zoning district at 14901 Washington Street.
Motion by Vice Mayor,
I second the motion.
seconded by Councilwoman Cavazos. Discussion on the motion. Roll call vote, please.
Shannon?
Absolutely.
Leek?
Yes.
Canthy?
Yes.
Edwards? Yes. Cavazos?
Yes.
Day?
Congratulations, sir. You just officially came over to the other side of the town. And we appreciate it, and hopefully we didn't make you too nervous up here. Yeah. The idea is to hopefully make it easy that someone could speak and share their concerns or feelings. So thank you very much. With that, I think this concludes our 6 o'clock thing. If I entertain a motion to adjourn.
I make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
And seconded by Vice Mayor Edwards. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? All right, thank you all. We'll be back at 7 o'clock. Appreciate it.